Governor, let me just ask you this right straight out. What do you understand racism to mean, or how would you define that, or segregation? Would you say you're a segregationist?
Yes.
Good people of the planet, this is Lester Maddox, the 6-time segregationist heavyweight champion of the South. And we've been studying him, and now it's time to see him in action. Right? This video's from 1970, and it's a few years after the time that we've been covering. And at this time, he was actually the governor of Georgia, right? So the question to Maddox is, are you a segregationist?
Yes, and I believe in my term, or my definition of segregation, and that is a segregationist is a person that loves his race enough, or other races enough, has enough of racial pride and integrity to want to preserve them. And I think a racist is one that doesn't care enough for his race or another race to where they don't care whether they're amalgamated or destroyed or not.
He's talking in code about the blacks and whites that push for integration. Those are who he's referring to as the real racist.
Then could I ask the governor a question?
Yeah?
Are you familiar with the black Muslims in this country?
Not too familiar with them, no.
Well, they practice black separatism.
Well, that's the reason I'm not familiar with them.
Good answer, very good answer. That's all to say. But to continue along that line, do you feel that what they're doing is right? You know, they believe that white people should be separate. They believe that they should have a state in this country. I think they felt that Mississippi, Georgia should be, one of those two states should be the state. Do you feel that
I was thinking maybe they ought to make it New York.
New York, you think so? All right, I'm gonna get over that, Governor. You look too tough.
No, I think that forced racial segregation is criminal and unconstitutional, and I think forced racial integration is criminal and unconstitutional. I think either one of them is cruel.
You mean on a social level?
Any level, where it's forced.
Well, we do have the laws. You mean when the laws are enforced, that if it involves integration, then it is wrong?
If it forces people against their will, against denying them their choice, to separate or to integrate,
there should be an exception.
it'd be just as wrong if the law would be just as wrong to force them to integrate as it would to be to force them to segregate.
This is exactly what we've been talking about. Now, I don't believe that Mr. Maddox cares at all about forced segregation. But he uses that point to sell his argument on how he believed that the Civil Rights Bill forced integration. Right? So he's framing it in the best way possible so he doesn't appear like a backwards individual. Right? And I think that this was an effective approach.
Well, don't you?
If a country can finally get to the point of saying, well, you're going to hire this person, you're going to promote this person, you're going to serve this person, then the same country can come right around and tell you you've got to work for that person, you've got to eat with that person, you've got to be served by that person. And this would be cruel and wrong, but so it is when it tells another person that you've got to do this.
Well, the laws of the land tells us all what we have to do, basically.
That doesn't make it right.
Well, I agree with that, but
the Supreme Court goes outside the Constitution. That doesn't make the Supreme Court right, does it?
Don't you believe to have an affluent society, we've all chose to live in a society together. Don't you believe that to preserve that society that we need laws of the land? That's why we have a society. And we cannot make exception to these laws just because a person happens to be black or white. Don't you believe that?
We've got most of these laws because we don't abide by the laws of God, though. And so we try to go against the laws of God and against the laws of nature, and we say, well, now, you're inferior, and you're not going to be able to meet with success in education or in your social life, even in your religious life, unless you do it with another race. And this teaches inferiority to me. And it's wrong, and it's criminal, and it's cruel to teach any one person that he is inferior to another race or his race is inferior.
He's talking specifically about teaching blacks that they needed to integrate with whites to improve their condition. So he's saying the very act of doing that is what perpetuates inferiority.
But as governor of the state of Georgia, did you go by the laws of God or by the laws of the state?
I go by the laws of God and by the laws of the state.
As you see fit.
What is...
No, sir, not as I
I just want to ask the governor, when you say it's morally wrong, integration. I believe that's what you said. Or it's
I said
basically-
forced segregation or forced integration, racial integration or forced racial segregation. They're both morally wrong, cruel, and they're in violation of the United States Constitution, which is the law of the land, not the Supreme Court ruling that denies the Constitution.
You know, I assume you know Dr. Billy Graham.
Sir?
I said, you know Dr. Billy
Yes,
Graham?
sir.
He was here last night, and he said that racial prejudice is also morally wrong. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yes, sir. I think racial prejudice is wrong. Yes.
He's playing the game, good people. He's playing the game. Now, he can't say what he really wanted to say because this is the year 1970 and he's in a public office, right? So he's got to play the game. He's got to tiptoe around it. The times had changed.
We have our government's probably practicing more prejudice today than they ever practiced in all the land so far as between the black and whites.
There was a quote that you made on the fight in Miami that Muhammad Ali participated in with Jerry Quarry, and, well, not in Miami, but in Atlanta. But black people always felt that Atlanta was the model city of the South because of its integration and because of the participation in economics of black people. And your statement on the day of the fight was something like this, that it's a dark day in Georgia because this fight is being put on. Now, the law of the land said that a man can participate in his particular profession unless he is in jail. I felt very happy that this fight took place in Atlanta. How did you feel about it?
I felt very sad.
And why was that?
Here's a man that has said, well, here I want to fight in the ring for money, but I won't even wear the uniform of my country. He says that I can't do this, but in other words, I'm going to act different from these other people who stand up for their country and put on the uniform. Had they not fought for this country, if they were not even fighting today and wearing this uniform, that he could not even get in a ring and fight and be a free man to
But
fight.
isn't it true
So
that-
he's helping to tear down this country with this philosophy, with this belief. Suppose every American, Mr. Brown, suppose every American had decided that they were not going to put on the uniform of their country and not fight for it. We wouldn't have a United States of America, and I couldn't be on your show, and you probably wouldn't even have a show
Isn't it
tonight
true?
if everybody had that attitude. And I don't like it, and I don't care whether you like it, don't care who don't like it.
Well,
It's getting wild on the set, good people of the planet.
I did serve my time, which, of course, I was a little before Muhammad Ali, and I was not maybe as intelligent as he is, because he was the first individual, I think, in this country that came out and said he had nothing against the Viet Cong. I think there were two other politicians in the country that made a very similar statement later. The late Bobby Kennedy came back from Vietnam and basically said the same thing. At the time, it was not a popular stand to make, but today it is a very popular stand. In fact, we have a lieutenant that's on trial now for certain things that happened in Vietnam. But I am saying that this man followed the law of the land. He made his stand. He has been fighting through the courts. He has gone to the higher courts, and he will go to jail if he is proven guilty.
Well, I hope he does go. I hope,
finish?
because I think he's guilty of treason.
Can I finish? Don't you feel that whenever a man goes through the courts, that he is abiding by the laws of the land, and that man who is willing to stand up with that decision is a brave man, regardless of what his beliefs might be? I know a lot of Southerners who, really like black people. And, they portray themselves as being really segregationists and that they hate black people and so forth. But
I know some black people feel the same way, but I don't know any Southerners that don't like, white Southerners don't like blacks. Do you know of any? Can you name one?
I'll tell you something. That's a very interesting point.
Can you name one?
No, I'm going to answer that question. It's an interesting point, you see.
It is, yeah.
They like black people, but they like them in a role, you see.
That role is whites at the top and blacks at the bottom.
They like them when they're very humble and they're very loyal.
Well, I like humble people whether they're white or black, don't you?
I know, but you see...
And loyal people whether they're black or white, don't you?
People
I mean,
have
you just
the
like them.
choice.
You don't like them loyal
You don't
if
like
they're
the
white
black
or...
people to have the choice, you see. It's only a matter of choice.
I want black people and white people to have choice.
Well,
you
let me
got
ask
it
you-
all mixed up. You're trying to twist it around.
No, I'm only trying to agree with you. Would you let me finish?
If you'll tell the truth.
Well, I'm only making an analysis, really. It's not a matter of truth or false.
Now, Mr. Brown is doing a good job here holding his composure. I just wanted to point that out.
What I'm really saying is that basically history has proven that during the days of slavery, whenever a slave was more or less humble and he did what he was told, that he was in good favor with the master. But whenever a slave was too educated, if he became aware of his own self and he wanted to become more than the master wanted him to become, then he was a bad slave. He was then put down because he represented a threat to the already established kind of white society.
Uh-oh.
Let me say this. Those situations are true with white people and black people. Now, you're just trying to point it at black people only.
Because
but they've
that's-
been true
that's,
throughout
the
the history
subject
of the
we're
world.
talking about.
There's been discrimination. Black against black, black against white, white against black, and white against white. There always has been, there always will be.
You're not
And you're not going to wipe
addressing-
it
you're not-
out, and
you're not
Tricky Dick's not going to wipe it out, and the Supreme Court's not going to wipe it out.
You're not addressing it. You're not addressing
Are you
your answer
referring
to
to
my
me as
question.
Tricky Dick?
No, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, you weren't.
Well, you know something, Governor? Believe it or not, I don't think that integration should be the number one thrust of our civil rights leaders anyway, because I think what we're really talking about in this country is economic development of black people, because I've found
Economic development of all people.
that, well, we're talking about underprivileged
How come just
people.
black people? How
We're
come you just
talking-
want to do it for
well,
black people? How come you don't want to do it for white people?
I'll tell you why.
Huh?
I'll tell
How
you
come you
why.
want to do it for everybody? How come
Can
you
I-
always
can I
black
get-
people?
can
Why
I
don't you
get-
talk about all people?
Can I give you an answer?
I think
Can
we
I-
understand
Please.
the question.
Yeah.
Can I give you an answer? Do you mind?
Now go ahead. If you're ready, I'll give you time.
Okay, Governor. What I'm really saying is that there are some people that have suffered in this country, poor people generally, but let's say that we have various ethnic groups in this country that have attained a certain kind of equality. Black people are more or less, along with the Indians, on the last rung of the ladder. Can I finish, Governor?
Boy.
Can I finish?
Maddox is ready to get wild. Now you can imagine the words that came out of his mouth in a private setting, right? And again, Jim Brown was doing well by keeping his calm.
Okay, do you mind?
The governor
Now,
said
what I'm really
fully
saying
agrees.
is that I feel that the way to bring about equality of black people in this system is
What
through
about
economic...
equality of white people? Now, I
Can I-
won't interrupt you every time you keep calling black people.
Well,
What about equality of all people?
If you interrupt me, Governor, I can't talk to you.
Well, if you're just going to talk about black people, don't include all people. I try to include all people. You're just interested in the black. Why don't you tell these people that in Atlanta, Georgia, where you keep talking about the South, that the percentage-wise, more black people are professional business people, industrial
Governor,
leaders,
can I-
more
can
of
I-
them in our
can I-
state
can
house
I-
elected officials than
Can I
any other
interrupt
state
you?
in the country.
Can I interrupt you? Can I interrupt
Be
you?
all right, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. See, I'm not really here to fight with you. I'm only trying to have a discussion with you.
I'm not going to
And
fight
I'm
with
trying,
you either.
and I'm
but
trying to use the
I want you-
technique.
There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people out there watching you, and I want you to be fair about all people, not just black people. We got a lot of people in this country.
I can understand that, but you do know I have a reputation, right? And I saw
don't
you.
know
I
about
saw,
it.
I
I'm not
saw you.
sure.
I saw
Tell
you.
me what your reputation
I
is
saw you
now.
bring that state trooper back there, you know, behind the curtain. I know you brought him back there for a reason. But that's not my purpose tonight.
Now, here you go trying.
That is
here
not
you,
my
Well,
purpose
you let me
tonight.
tell you this.
Would you like to join this conversation?
No, I'm going to say this now.
Would you like to join this conversation?
I would like. Why is it coming
let
apart?
me say this, Mr.
Would you let Dick talk a little
No, I've
longer?
got to say this. No, I'm going to let him talk
See,
right
before
now.
I got on
Because
this before I got on this
I got
program,
a
you
state
wouldn't
trooper
talk,
like
would you?
all the other governors in the country carry one, and they require it in the state governments that the governors have security personnel.
didn't get them because
so
you
I
knew I
carry
was
one
here,
of
right?
them. I didn't even know you would be here. It was a surprise when I came here tonight and found you would be here.
Wait.
I've never traveled anywhere in the United States since I've been governor. No other governors travel without one security personnel. Some of them have 3 and 4. I carry one man as an aid, not as security.
Governor Maddox, could
Are
I?
you afraid because I came up here with an aid?
I've forgotten what my voice sounds like. I would like to say, Governor, I don't want you to create the impression that you were trapped in any sense tonight. I mean, it's been known for some days that Mr. Brown is going to be here. We didn't actually trap you, did we, into coming in?
Well, I want you to know that I didn't know he was going to be here, but it wouldn't make no difference because you invited me and I accepted the invitation.
Yes.
But he said something about I know his reputation. I don't know Jim Brown. Who is Jim Brown?
Well, there we have it. That was a little sneak peek into the past on this Lester Maddox character that we've been studying. Now, there was another Maddox clip that I wanted to commentate on, but the owners completely blocked it from being used and repurposed on YouTube. So I can't use it. But what I've done is I've left the clip below, right? So you can click on it and you can check it out because it's wilder than this one here. All right. And so I want to thank you for your time and attention. My name is Brooklyn St. Michael, and I'll see you in the free world.